All right, so we're going to talk Kansas tonight because on your website, BillOnTheRoad.com, you have written an article, the 27 most interesting things about Kansas, I'm sorry, the 27 unusual things to see in Kansas. But Kansas is celebrating their birthday?
Yeah, they're celebrating their 165th birthday today. And, a couple of years ago, I did what I call a small town tour. And I do this a couple of times each year. I go into different states and try to visit some places that are kind of off the beaten path, and maybe they don't get a lot of exposure or whatever. And so I did one in Kansas, and what I called it, McGraw, was the "There's Nothing to Do in Kansas" tour. Okay, a little tongue in cheek, because how many times have you heard someone say, nothing to do in Kansas, nothing to see in Kansas? So always out to prove people wrong. So I spent about 3 weeks actually driving all over the state and found really a lot of neat little towns and a lot of pretty interesting, quirky things. And I think my favorite, and you'll understand in a moment why it's my favorite. So there's a museum in a little town called Wamego, Kansas. It's about, an hour and a half west of Kansas City, right off of Interstate 70, about 10 miles actually off of Interstate 70. And so for folks who don't know, and I'm guessing that's everybody, one of the ways I make a living is I get paid through social media. So if a lot of people like things that I post on Facebook, for example, Mark Zuckerberg writes me a little check each month. And so I knew this museum was there, and I didn't really want to go, but I thought, okay, here's the deal. I'll pay the $10 to get in, and hopefully I get my $10 back, through social media, right?
Sure.
There's some posts online. Yeah. So I go down, I make the drive, I go into the Oz Museum, and it was neat. They had a pretty neat collection of things. It's all yellow brick roads everywhere and whatever. Anyway, so the moral of the story here is that social media post on the Oz Museum made me like $850. So I got way more than my $10 back, and people love anything Wizard of Oz. I'm telling you, man, people they can't get enough.
And so this is in Wamego, Kansas, which is kind of just off Highway 70?
Yeah, it's about 10 miles off of Highway 70. So, you gotta want to go there, right? So I made that stop. That one was pretty cool. They had some pretty neat stuff. I have to admit it was a fun little stop.
They didn't have any, I mean, they didn't have the ruby slippers or any of the bricks from the Yellow Brick Road. I mean, did they have anything like that, or was it more kitschy,
if you will? Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd call it kitschy. A little bit. And here's the thing with all of these Wizard of Oz museums, and I think I've been to 6 of them by now, all across the country, right? And so I don't think they saved a whole heck of a lot from that movie. I know I was in one museum in Seattle where they had, the fur from the Cowardly Lion. The Smithsonian's got the ruby red slippers, or at least one of the few pairs. There's not really a whole heck of a lot left from that movie. So to answer your question, no, they didn't really have a whole heck of a lot.
All right. So on this article you have at BillOnTheRoad.com, you have them in descending order. So can we assume that 27 is the least and number 1 was your favorite, or is it just in alphabetical order? Or
you should assume nothing.
Okay, fair enough.
But I will tell you one that I think is really, really neat. It's got a pretty interesting story. So Wichita, Kansas has, I don't know if folks know this, but this is where Pizza Hut originated. So back in 1958 in Wichita, Kansas, 2 brothers, the Carney brothers, started Pizza Hut. And if you go to Wichita and you visit Wichita State University, there you will find the original Pizza Hut location. So it's the first building, the first place that the brothers started. They got I think it was a $600 loan from their parents and started their business. And you can go in, and it looks I mean, it looks just like they have a lot of the stuff that an old school Pizza Hut would have. Those chandeliers and the
Right.
the booths and things that you would remember. And a lot of interesting interviews that they did with the brothers, talking about what it was like when they first opened. But my favorite story about the original Pizza Hut was about the design of those buildings. And of course, if you look at a Pizza Hut, it's a Pizza Hut because of the roof, right? Or if it used to be a Pizza Hut, right? You've been driving down the road, and it's
Right.
a Chinese restaurant. Hey, that used to be a Pizza Hut.
It's the
Well,
top
so
hat, right? It's the top
that's
hat.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So apparently, and I may screw this up just a little bit, but I'm gonna be pretty close. Um, when they started to franchise out and they wanted to expand, they found an architect, and they wanted to design a building for all of their Pizza Huts. And the architect wanted, I don't know the exact number, but let's just say it was $5,000, $6,000, whatever. And the brothers were like, we can't really afford that for the. And so the architect and the brothers made a deal. They said, all right, fine, give me $100 for every location that you wind up opening. Well, they opened 30,000 locations, so the guy made out pretty good. And sometimes it pays
Yeah.
to
Yeah. I love those.
think into the
I love
future.
those. I love those stories when they say we can't pay you, but we can give you stock, and our stock is worth 2 cents right now, or we
Right.
can't pay you,
That's the
but
deal. That's the deal you made with me for this show, I think, wasn't it? The stocks.
well, I can't pay you, but I'll give you $2 for every one we sell, and the George Foreman grill sells 8 billion of them or something. Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. All right, so looking through this. Well, the one that really caught my attention, there's a couple of them that are really cool, was Dr. James Naismith has written down the official rules of basketball.
Yeah. So if you go to Lawrence, Kansas, again, another town off of Interstate 70, pretty easy to get to. You go on campus, and it's a free thing. And if you're a sports fan, which I know you are, and pretty cool to go into. It's called the DeBruce Center, and it's right on the second level of the building. You walk in, and there they are. It's the original rules of basketball, and they've got them behind this glass thing, and they got a little miniature museum. But it's pretty neat to see like how simple the game was when it first started. Now, God only knows how many pages of rules there are in basketball, or any sport for that matter, but pretty neat to like see how these things originally get started.
Yeah. So Dr. James Naismith was a basketball coach at the University of Kansas. And the trivia question goes, who is the only coach in the University of Kansas basketball history that has a losing record? And the answer is Dr. James Naismith.
This makes the story more interesting.
Yeah, so there you go. How about, I love the world's largest belt buckle. Where'd you find that one?
Oh, yeah, that's in Abilene, Kansas. So I am a huge roadside attraction junkie. I have an app on my phone. If folks are interested, it's called Roadside America. It's not a free one. You pay like $5 for it. But I use this thing all over the country, and it points out things that are quirky and interesting, sometimes stupid, to be quite honest with you. There's a little like a thing on there where it'll judge, like, is it really worth a stop or not? So I try to go to the ones that are worthy of a stop. And this one I thought was pretty neat. The world's largest belt buckle. You climb. I wish I know it's radio, so people can't see this gigantic thing, but you climb up this set of steps and you go all the way to the top of this thing, and it is 19 feet wide and 13 feet tall, and it is just a gigantic belt buckle, and it says Abilene, Kansas on the front of it, and it's kind of a fun little roadside attraction.
What was the steak like across the street from Leavenworth, Kansas, or the Leavenworth prison?
Well, I got to tell you, it was better than I thought it was going to be. It's kind of a bizarre thing. So, yeah, you're looking over at the famous Leavenworth prison. We've all heard Leavenworth, right? And it's called the Little Steakhouse across from the Big House. and it's right there. And I'm telling you, it was packed. Like it was packed. Like this was a pretty popular thing to do in town, and people who were visiting and come through it. But yeah, steak was good. It's a. I'm trying to think of what it would be comparable to, but kind of like a mom and pop place.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Good food,
All right,
yeah.
staying in Leavenworth, Kansas.
Uh-huh.
Seems like you found the world's largest or world's fastest carousel.
Yeah, so Leavenworth was actually, this is not meant to be offensive, but Leavenworth was actually a surprise. I had no idea that Leavenworth was going to be so interesting. I'd find so many, cool things to see and do and experience while I was there, in addition to trying to stay out of the prison. But yeah, they had this little museum, and you go into this, I'm trying to think how fast the thing went, but I posted a video online on my Bill on the Road Facebook page after I was on this carousel. And what was funny is all of these locals and all of these people that were familiar with the carousel, everybody was commenting and saying, "Oh my God, you were absolutely right. This was the fastest carousel I have ever been on in my entire life." It was the C.W. Parker Carousel Company originally made this thing. And it was inside of a museum, and I happened to be the only one there that day, and the guy just cranked it up for me, put it all the way to 10. And to be honest, I thought nobody should be on this thing this fast. Like truly, like no one should be on this thing. I was grateful to touch the ground after, but pretty cool experience.
Did you see the Kansas City Chiefs stadium while you were in Kansas? See what I did there? See what I did there? I made a joke about them stealing the Kansas City Chiefs. Who is Fred Harvey?
Yeah, so Fred Harvey is the guy that's credited with coming up with the first chain of restaurants. So maybe you've heard of, the Harvey hotels. And so if you were back in the day, folks were, traveling mostly by train. And so this guy decided to start opening up restaurants. Now, in my hometown of St. Louis, if you go to St. Louis Union Station, you'll see what used to be a Harvey restaurant there inside of Union Station downtown. And and then they had, I think they were called just like the Harvey Girls or something. I can't remember what they called them, but they were known for having these waitresses or servers that were all dressed the same, and that was kind of their, it wasn't like Hooters or something, you know what I mean? But it was but they were known for working in the Harvey houses, and you can go and visit his house. He retired in Leavenworth, and you can go and visit his mansion there.
All right, so you got the Harvey House, you got Pizza Hut, and ices were invented in Kansas. Ices?
Yeah. The icy. You've had an icy? You know what it's
ice with like sugar water on it, right? That's an icy.
Yeah, if you go to the movies, you get an icy when you're at the movie. It was made in Coffeyville, Kansas, really small little town. And essentially the backstory is that the owner of the local Dairy Queen in the 1950s came up with the concept. They noticed people loved him and loved coming into his DQ store for the icy. And so he ended up working with a guy in Dallas at a company. They made these special machines. And kind of an interesting plot twist, 7-Eleven actually ended up buying the machines, and that's now what the Slurpee is. So if you have a Slurpee at 7-Eleven, it all started because the guy in Coffeyville at the Dairy Queen came up with the icy.
Beautiful stuff. BillOnTheRoad.com, 27 unique things to see in Kansas. You really knocked it out of the ballpark. Give us a hint of where we're going to find you next Thursday night.
So I will be on the beach. I am going to. I was trying to come up with something clever to say, but I don't know. It's one of the best places in, I think, the whole United States to go surfing in Carlsbad, California. Carlsbad, California.
Are you gonna go Cuban, or what do they call it? Gleaming the cube? Is that what you're gonna do?
I don't know what that means. Maybe I will.
This is a family show. I think that means gleaming the cube. I think that means you're going to go surfing.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah, no. No,
Okay.
I will watch. I'll learn all about the history. There's probably a surfing museum there that I'll check out, but no, I am not cut out to surf.
World's
No, thank
largest
you.
surfboard or something. All right, good.
Maybe.
Carlsbad, California. Bill on the road, BillOnTheRoad.com. Bill, be safe in your travels, and we'll check in with you next week. Thanks, man. Good stuff.
Sounds good. See you. Bye.
You got it. Bill Clevlen, Bill on the road. 27 unusual things to see in Kansas. We didn't get to lots of stuff. We didn't get to the world's largest. Well, we're short on time here. What did I miss here? They got a bison range. We mentioned the belt buckle. There's a working dairy farm. The world's largest gorilla in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Holy mackerel. We missed a lot. Check it out, BillOnTheRoad.com. Stay right there. America at Night. Back in a moment.
Live from coast to coast, this is America at Night with McGraw Milhaven.